What are you going to do after you retire? I will most likely stream and focus entirely on that. I feel like I have so much to give back to the community, and I'm capable of doing it with the position that I am in. I genuinely believe that with the right planning, I'm going to be able to get guides out for you guys. Um, I just realized how much passion there is for the game, realistically. And I want to see if I can teach people what I know about the game and simplify it to the degree where it can be used from the lowest ranks all the way to the highest ranks. Um, but to do that requires a lot of planning, and I'm low key like a perfectionist when it comes to stuff like that. So I want to try to make it perfect for you guys. Um, so the goals are to do guides on both attack and defense side, do post plans, retakes, all of it, and have it organized in a way where people can easily it's easily accessible and easily understandable when you're watching, whether you're a silver player or like a diamond or a fucking immortal radiant player. But I would never want to coach a team because that's just not something I'm really passionate about. And I'm also what I'm doing with what I want to do right now is affecting thousands of people, potentially thousands of players who can be helped with what I have to say. So I would rather do that than have to coach like 5, 6 players. It would just be it's better for me.
No, fam.
It's a selfish thing. It's a selfish thing in that I want to do it to grow my YouTube. I want it to grow my stream, but it's also me trying to give back to the people that have literally supported me for now 4 or 5 years straight, even longer, some of them. And I've done nothing to try to help give back to the community. Literally nothing. I've never put out videos of like guides and things I know. I've always kept everything to myself because I've always been the kind of person where it's like, okay, like I don't want people to know how I think and shit. But, as I've grown, I feel like it's time to actually help, and do my part. So, um that's why I want to mainly create the guides is, so hopefully people are able to learn from them and get better, and then, eventually NA will have like insane callers, I guess. And I also plan on like watching okay, so you know what Chet is watching our VODs from like our old games? I plan on doing the same thing, but explaining what we're trying to do in that round and why we're trying to do it and what the strat is. So I'm gonna watch a game by myself first to see and remember exactly what was called and said, and then explain it to you guys step by step on like how a team plays at the highest level, you know? So those kinds of things is what I want to do. These are the things I have planned for this coming not just come this coming year, but these next 4 months. But it takes time and a lot of genuine planning for it to be as perfect as I want it to be. I don't want to half-ass it at all because all I have left in my life in terms of like work is this. So I want to make the best of it. Like if I'm streaming, then I want to do the best that I can to make it the best for you guys. Or else, I'm gonna look back at it and be like, what the fuck is this? Would that be helpful since the game changes every year? Yes. And the reason for why it would be helpful is because I'm taking you into why we think the way we think. Like why we visualize the map the way that we do, why players are rotating the way that they are. And eventually, I guess the goal is that hopefully players that watch these things or people that watch end up understanding that you kind of need a map in your head. Like, genuinely, you need to visualize a map in your head of how people are rotating around the map based off the utility that you're throwing. You know, it would probably be just map to map. Doing agents is like I would give examples of agents, but doing every agent is fuck that. I'm not doing that. But as far as like map to map, it's very easy for me to like explain. Okay, so the way Haven is played. Okay, so the way Fracture is played. The way Breeze is played. And it can work for silver players all the way up to radiant players, you know? It's the same rules, but the skill level is different. That's all. But the rules are still the exact same on how to play these maps correctly. The reason I don't call that way in ranked though is because I'm not trying to be like, okay, let's default A, let's go back into mid now. Let's do. I'm not doing that at ranked. Ranked is just there to fucking fuck around and shoot people. A low tier team like Billy, I think they have a lot of different setups that are very well thought out. So you kind of. Oh right, that's the other thing. I want to do podcasts because where the fuck is my cat? Because I've always wanted to do a podcast, but I've never had the platform to do it. And now that I have all the time in the world, I can actually try, you know? So it just depends on who I'm able to get on the podcast. Like hopefully it's pro players, but you never know. So it just kind of depends on who actually wants to come on and how big it gets. But that's another plan in the works. But yeah, right now, this last like what was it, 10 days that I've been streaming, 11 days, my entire goal has been just to see if I would genuinely enjoy it. And I definitely enjoy it like more than I thought I would. So now that I know that, I will stick more, I will take my schedule more seriously, but I'm also going to take my health and my life more seriously and like balance everything out better and practice discipline in those areas because when I hyper focus on something, for example, streaming, I suck at talking to people. I suck at eating well. I suck at gymming. I suck at everything else because I'm just so focused on this one thing. So I definitely need to have a better balance as well. Tarek also wanted to do a podcast. Fuck, I'm down. Don't worry, guys. You'll get your watch parties. I promise you that. Player Sultan.